I had never listened to talk radio before that day. It just bored me to tears. I really couldn't care less. I just wanted to hear my music and jam out. But that morning I was driving to work, and as the news came on and talked about how there had been an explosion in New York City, and they thought maybe it was intentional. And then another one happened, and I was standing there in my boss's office watching on television as the second plane hit the tower. Hi, my name is Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. Today we honor, respect, remember one of the most tragic days in American history. A day when it wasn't just the buildings and the people that were under attack, it was a way of life. All the division that we've seen in the last couple of decades, all of the fighting and the backbiting and the lying and the manipulation that we've seen both in politics and in the media, it didn't exist on that day. And not because it wasn't there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for that moment, for the next several months, the next few years, there was a divisive unity that said we're not going to be divided amongst ourselves, even for those things that make us uniquely different. Our nationalities, our sexuality, our religious beliefs. No, we are Americans. And as Americans, we are going to be unified against whatever it is, whoever it is, that wants to take or destroy our way of life. See, our way of life is really not hard to define. Yes, we all live in different types of communities. We all live in different places around the country, and our geography is as vastly different as anywhere else in the world. We have mountain ranges, and we have snow-capped hills, and we have open plains, and we have basic deserts when you drive through South Texas. We have all of the topography you can imagine in the world. We have people from literally all over the world in one nation with one ideal, and that is freedom, individual liberty, the right to decide who you want to hang out with and who you want to be friends with and where you want to go to work and what you want to do for a living, how many kids you want to have, who you want to marry. That's unique in our world. It really is. And there are a lot of people who've lost sight of just how unique that is and how powerful it is that people have died to protect that freedom, to give you the right to disagree, to give you the right to stand up in the street and say, I don't like the way you do that, and not be shot to death for it. To give you the right to lay your head down at night and say, this is my space. This is my home. This is where I belong. And it's yours. We are unique in that way as a nation. Oh, yeah, we help a lot of people, both in our country and outside of our country. In fact, the United States of America is one of the largest donors to charities around the world, far and away above any other country. And it's not just because of the size of our nation. It's the generosity of our nation. It's the heart of our people that says we love every stranger. Yes, we disagree. Sometimes my wife and I disagree. But we've been married 24 years and we still tolerate each other and we still love each other and we still appreciate our uniquenesses. Even if I want to cook Brussels sprouts in the house and she doesn't allow that, that's very offensive to her. So I go somewhere else to get my Brussels sprouts. Because even though we have differences, we've learned to love, to forgive. It takes courage to accept someone else's differences. It takes compassion to accept someone else's differences. And on this day, as we remember those whose lives were lost, whose lives were taken on 9/11 in 2001, I want to challenge you to lead with both courage and compassion. The courage to say, yes, I know we are different, And my differences are mine, and your differences are yours. But I still have compassion for you and love for you to allow you to be you, as different as we are. My favorite commercial from 9/11 was the one that showed all the houses along the road, all little fronts. And it said, on 9/11, they changed the face of America forever. And then the screen went black, and you thought it would come back to just rubble or devastation. And instead, it came back to the same little houses, and now every one of them had an American flag on the stoop. They did change the face of America. And I pray that some 17 years later, we haven't forgotten who we really are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm Loren Norris for Leading Leaders Podcast on Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.